Well, I think number one, in the South, where unions are not really commonplace, we have to start from square one. We have to talk about like what a union is, make sure they understand that number one, we are not related to the company that you work for. And we have to let them know about their rights, help them understand like the history, a short history of the union, and also really let them know that they can be a part of changing the workplaces. Mm-hmm. It's okay to challenge the boss.
Yeah, I mean, I have people here tell me unions are illegal. It's a right to work state, things like that.
Yeah. You hear a lot about that. I talked to a gentleman in Houston, he wasn't part of OTG, but he was kind of like a side project. And I was talking to him about the union and how one of the biggest things we do when negotiating a contract is fight for higher wages. And as soon as I said that, his eyes rolled back and he got kind of mad. He's like, do you understand, if we're fighting for higher wages, then they can fire us, then, if we're demanding all this money and everything, they're not going to have enough money to keep us all hired. So I started really talking about economics with them. An example that I use for a lot of people is I ask them, like, what kind of phone do you have? If they say they have an iPhone, an Apple, and I say, what would happen if Apple all of a sudden got an extra $500 million that's like untied, whether it's a government subsidy, what would they do with that $500 million? And would they decide to give raises across the board to all the workers? Would they invest in technology? Would they give that money to the shareholders, or would it go in their pockets? What would they do with that money? And when you really think about it, giving money to the workers is always last on that list. So we got to kind of make sure that we are not the last person on that list to get whatever trickle-down money that it is. And, we shouldn't settle for just spare change, because they're always going to give us the minimum.